Explain to me as a woman, how can you wear that and also complain and post it and also complain that you don't like being sexualized?
Here's the part that I like about the backlash. Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash.
The WNBA world is rocked by breaking news. Stephen A. Smith of ESPN did not mince words when he called out Angel Reese live on camera, announcing her suspension. The level of tension is really high. The explanation is startling. Furthermore, this isn't a single game. Reese's entire career may be defined by this. This is the whole tale that the league doesn't want you to know, including conflicts with Caitlin Clark, public disputes, and major social media hurricanes.
Young lady. And there's a lot of beautiful young ladies in the WNBA. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. It's not going to work with people. Whether it's right or wrong, it's
in
not
front of millions of people, Stephen A. Smith delivered the shocking revelation during ESPN's First Take. He spoke straight to Angel Reese. "I have to be honest with you, young woman. You've been placed on suspension." It was an immediate shockwave. Social media was inundated with fans. A few were incensed. Others remarked, "At last."
Caitlin Clark, the reason I bring up Caitlin Clark is because they're attached at the hip with one another, which means they're ultimately going to be compared, Tori. And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. She's a rookie of the year. She was one of the finalists for the league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all types of records. She should have been on Team USA. She didn't choose to play in an unrivaled league.
We must go back in time to see why the suspension has affected us so severely. Angel Reese had enormous promise when she first came to prominence. In 2023, the Bayou Barbie helped LSU win a national championship. However, scandal accompanied fame. Reese became one of the most divisive personalities in women's basketball because of her intense on-court feud with Caitlin Clark and her unrepentant trash language.
In my opinion, has been raised either influential by her parents or peers to be a subpar example.
After college, however, the controversies continued. Reese was involved in several incidents during her first season as a WNBA player with the Chicago Sky. Intense arguments, angry birds, and arguments on social media become common news stories. Her detractors claimed she was more concerned with going viral than honing her craft.
It is. Listen, I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly
And Caitlin Clark comes next. Clark was making headlines for his record-breaking feats, while Reese was making them for his drama. Deadly accurate from three-point range, calm and composed. She became the face of the league. Sponsors waited in line. When Clark performed, attendance skyrocketed, and the media started making an inevitable analogy.
You are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She's very smart, very accomplished. And on top of it all, she is in this age where she does know social media exists. And she has exploited it to her advantage. And so when you take that into consideration, that means you're mindful of the imagery and the
What specifically led to Angel Reese's suspension? League Insiders claims that the ruling followed a string of on-court conduct infractions, as well as actions that officials described as harming the league's reputation. According to sources, several warnings were given but disregarded. Under pressure to safeguard its expanding fan base, the WNBA decided that enough was enough.
The reason I bring up Caitlin Clark is because they're attached at the hip with one another, which means they're ultimately going to be compared, Tori. And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. She's a rookie of the year. She was one of the finalists for the league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all types of records. She should have been on Team USA. She didn't choose to play in an unrivaled league. Her brand.
There was more to Stephen A. Smith's call-out than news. It served as a warning. The WNBA is at a turning point, he reminded Ree. The league cannot afford distractions now that TV numbers are finally on the rise. His message was unambiguous. You are too gifted to miss this chance. It's unclear if Ree will take it personally.
That no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese. And you will always be picked apart, unfortunately. It comes with the crown. You're a queen. You're beautiful, you know? So you just have to remember that if you aren't ready for the scrutiny, if you're not ready for the heat, then, you know, you just got to be mindful that what comes with it. You have
Supporters are divided. Some people think that since Ree is vocal, she is being unfairly singled out. Others claim that her actions on X and TikTok are finally coming up with her. Resuspension and Free Angel Ree are two hot hashtags with thousands of angry comments each.
Countless women over the years in this industry, the bosses are always watching. Whether directly or indirectly, there's always eyes.
Angel Ree must decide whether to continue on her current course or to regroup and repair her reputation now that she is suspended. She might make a victorious comeback, or it might signal the gradual decline of one of the most promising players in women's basketball. The world is watching, and the clock is ticking.
Like, she's literally held up an outline after getting whacked. You can literally see all of her business there outlined.
What do you think? Does Angel Reese's suspension make sense, or is she being handled unfairly? Leave a comment below with your opinions. Check out our in-depth video, which is linked here, for the complete narrative on her conflict with Caitlin Clark. Remember to subscribe. The WNBA season has only just begun.
To me as a woman, how can you wear that and also complain and post it and also complain that you don't like being sexualized?
New information from the WNBA Stephen A. Smith just went live and called out the target, Angel Ree, in one of his most scathing public outbursts to date. The young celebrity is currently suspended following a string of contentious off-court behaviors, public criticism, and what insiders describe as a pattern of distractions. The consequences might permanently alter her career. However, Stephen A. went beyond criticism. He made a direct comparison between her and Caitlin Clark. To put it mildly, it wasn't flattering.
I have no issue with women who want to make money based on their sexuality, right? More power to you, do whatever you want. But don't whine to me that you've been far too sexualized and then post the photos.
It all began when Angel Reese shared a daring New Year's Eve ensemble on Instagram that left very little room for interpretation. The reaction was immediate. She was accused of putting attention above her game by WNBA fans, and even some former players. Ree momentarily closed her Instagram account on New Year's Day because to the harsh comments, but she revived it a few days later. However, the harm had already been done. At that point, Stephen A. Smith made the decision to comment live on TV, not only about the team but also about professionalism, branding, and the distinction between hype and legacy. Smith didn't hold back. He stated, quote, "Caitlin's handling her brand like a pro, but Angel Girl, what are you doing?" He reminded viewers that Caitlin Clark has completely avoided off-court incidents, even though she is one of the most talked-about rookies in WNBA history. Clark, on the other hand, lets her play do the talking, winning Rookie of the Year and even making it to the league MVP finals. Smith compared that to Ree, who, according to him, has allowed diversions to shape her story. A story that might cause fans, coaches, and sponsors to reconsider funding her future. This goes beyond a single garment or Instagram post for a lot of fans. Several public firestorms have centered on Ree. Her mocking gesture at Caitlin Clark during the 2023 NCAA Women's Basketball Championship went viral, provoking a national discussion on sportsmanship. She sparked even another round of controversy later that year when she and her LSU teammates skipped the White House celebration visit, claiming personal and schedule conflicts. However, she was criticized for her lack of professionalism. Subsequently, there were cryptic tweets, subtle social media insults, and now the suspension. This is a pattern rather than a singular occurrence. Because it went beyond mere opinion, Stephen A. Smith's parallel struck a profound chord. It was supported by outcomes. Clark has been the talk of the town for all the right reasons, even though Reese has been a reliable rebounder. Professionalism, leadership, and scoring records. You don't need stunts or provocative behavior to build a brand, Smith said. The rest will fall into place if you concentrate on the game. It was an obvious message. Distractions must end quickly if Reese is to be recognized as a star. The responses were harsh on the internet. Because of her behavior off the court rather than her stats, several fans dubbed Reese the league's worst player. Some defended her, pointing out that far worse things have been forgiven for male sportsmen. But frustration was the dominant emotion. Annoyance that a young, gifted athlete might be putting her future at risk due to preventable drama. In the WNBA, your reputation is as valuable as your shooting percentage, and Reese's stock is dropping, one pundit wrote, echoing Smith's worries.